What a gorgeous day. My name is Rusty Korhonen, and I got a story for you. What does a 7-year-old girl lost in Vail, Colorado have to do with the 10th Mountain Division and finish Sisu? Well, I'm about to tell you. Well, my family loved to take ski vacations, and I think our favorite place to ski was Vail, Colorado. And one time we had a fantastic trip until one day something happened that really kind of rocked our world. In 1977, my sister got separated from my parents and me and had to ski the mountain entirely by herself and find her way home. She happened to take a run called Riva Ridge, which I thought was named after a horse that won the 1972 Kentucky Derby. Well, as it turns out, the owner of that horse was a veteran of World War II and a veteran of the 10th Mountain Division that fought at the Battle of Riva Ridge. I've since learned that Riva Ridge means a lot more than Vail, Colorado, and a lot more than a racehorse. Back then I was 11 years old and my sister was only 7. And we did everything with our parents. We were taught at a very young age that we had to ski close by them. We weren't able to get too far ahead, and we need to stop often. As a matter of fact, I don't even think my sister and I ever had a hotel room key or any money in our pockets because we were always with our parents. I remember my parents saying that they skied behind us when we were young to pick us up when we fell. But what's really funny is they skied behind us when we got older just because they couldn't keep up. And having kids of my own, I absolutely understand what they meant. In this particular ski trip, we decided to, as a family, to take the run Riva Ridge all the way down to the village and then go back up and then figure out what to do from there. The second run we took, we went all the way to the top of Vail Mountain again, but decided to take Christmas, which was one of my mom's favorite runs. I went through the trees like I always did. Right in through here, I'd ski right through the trees, just like that. Boom. Except it wasn't nearly that awful. Took a jump and then waited for my parents and my sister. And then I would come, we were gonna run Christmas, and I would go right into those trees there, and I'd meet my parents down somewhere where those skiers are, down there. Well, the next one over is Riva Ridge. Well, my parents showed up and we waited for a good 15 minutes and my sister didn't show up. So we went all the way down to Mid-Vail. My sister was nowhere to be found. Dad went up for another run and he came back down here. He skied through the trees where we skied, no sign of Kari. And Mom was getting freaked out at that point. So she told the ski patrol, listen, my daughter's hurt. She's dead, lying somewhere. She went over a cliff. I don't know, maybe she was eaten by an eagle. Maybe bears or wolves got her. And I assured Mom that bears hibernate in the wintertime, so that's not a problem. And I've never seen a wolf up here. Eagles, on the other hand, that could happen. And that's where my story is gonna pause for a minute. Right here, where we turned one way and what happened, what did you do?
I came out of the woods and I stopped and I didn't see anybody. They must have stopped down farther. So I followed Riva because we'd skied it before and I figured that's where everybody went. And I stopped a couple more times and nobody was there. So I kept going.
And so when my dad came back about a half hour later with nothing, the ski patrol sent out that APB for a 7-year-old girl in a purple coat. 2 ski patrol went with my dad back up for another run, and they decided to sweep the area to see if they could find her. Maybe she got hurt, maybe she got stuck in the woods, maybe something worse happened. Well, my mom at this point was starting to become unglued. She was always protective, especially of my sister, and having her daughter just disappear into thin air, that really was hard for her. Being a parent, I understand that now. At the time, I didn't. It was really annoying. We waited there for another hour, and finally the ski patrol comes up and says, all the lifts are now closed. We're gonna make a couple of sweeps. And my dad said, I'll go with you. I think they did 2 more runs up to the top and back down to Mid-Vail. With all these ski patrol, they fanned out in the woods. There's no way she would have gotten into the woods farther or deeper. That's just not the way she skied. Finally, ski patrol comes walking up to my mom and all the color in my mom's face just drained. She's like, oh no, they found her body. And he said, well, we found your daughter. And my mom goes, she's at the Lift House Lodge. That's where we were staying. Here she comes. Don't eat yellow snow.
Don't eat yellow snow.
That's really funny.
Yeah, this is about where I stopped. There was nobody on the hill. It was just me. Kind of like it is now. And I thought, well, may as well keep going.
Well, my dad came back with the other ski patrol and he had heard that they had found her and she was safe and sound at the lift house. Both my parents were very relieved, but I started to get a little bit angry. I said, look, we lost a whole half day of skiing. I knew my sister and I knew she could take care of herself, but actually, if I admit it, I was a little bit relieved that she was okay. We skied down, and as we walked into the lift house, there was my sister drinking a hot chocolate and Absolutely perfectly fine. As soon as she saw us, though, she got really angry. Where did you guys go? Why did you leave me? I had to take the bus all by myself. I thought somebody got hurt. Don't ever do that again. Well, she didn't hear that we had taken a different run. So she skied all the way down Riva Ridge, took the bus, and that was that. All right, next stop, tourist trap.
I'm gonna go over here where there are fewer moguls. These bumps don't like me.
You stopped here when you were 7, so tell me what happened.
I stopped about here and was looking around, kind of like I am right now, thinking about the best choice. Because I was tired, it was the end of the day, and I knew I could ski tourist trap, because I'd done it already at least once that day, but I was by myself. There was nobody here, and I remember just kind of looking around going, I need to make the right choice. The right choice would be to go around and take compromise, but I don't know that way. If I go down that way and take the wrong turn or go straight when I need to turn or turn when I need to go straight, it's gonna take me to a different area. I don't know that different area and I don't know where I'll end up, but I know if I take tourist trap, the hard run, the one that I shouldn't take because it's the end of the day, I'm alone and I'm tired, I could get hurt. I stood here for a few minutes. I was really in a quandary. I had no idea what to do.
But you weren't panicked.
I wasn't panicked.
You weren't crying.
I was thinking. No, I was thinking. I need to make a choice, but I don't know what choice I need to make. A few minutes into my thought process, a young woman came up to me. She said, "Are you by yourself?" And I said, "Yes." She said, "Where are your parents?" I said, "I don't know." She said, "Well, would you like to ski around with me?" And I said, absolutely yes, please. So
just to put a highlight on this, when you take compromise down this way, there's a split. The off to the right goes to a completely different chairlift. So that's what she was giving you an option to go down because she knew the way.
Right. I would be in trouble if I went the wrong way or if I went down a run that was too hard for me at that moment. And had that woman not come to me and asked me if I wanted to go around, I might very well have gone down tourist trap. I wasn't confident enough in my, not my ability, but in my fatigue level, and I was alone. That made me nervous.
Well, this was the first time that you were completely alone without mom and dad or me,
ever.
And you had to make a decision by yourself for the first time ever.
Yeah, major turning point in my life.
Whew. All right, Mrs. Ski Instructor, tell me what kind of technique that was. Survival. I love it. How's the knee?
I could use a drink.
All right. Well, I think it's time to head to Barton Yetis.
So we got to the bottom of this. We actually stopped over there. And the woman said to me, "Are you okay now?" And I looked up at tourist trap and I thought, oh, I'm so glad I didn't do that. It's a little
kind of like you are right now.
Yeah. Yeah. We stopped over here and the woman said to me, "Are you okay now?" And I said, "Yes, I am." She said, "Do you know where you're going?" I said, "Yes, I do." And she said, "Okay," and set me on my way. Looking at the bottom of the hill, I'm seeing this sea of people, and I'm thinking, there's no way on earth I'm gonna find my parents. Well, I guess I'll go home. So I took my skis off, walked to the bus stop, and a bus happened to pull up right about the time I got there, so I was pretty fortunate. I needed to put my skis up on the rack in the bus, but I couldn't reach it because I was so short. So I asked the bus driver, "Can I bring my skis on the bus?" And he said, "No, you need to put them in the rack." So he got off the bus and he helped me put my skis in the rack.
Oh, so he at least helped you.
Yes, he did.
Good.
He helped me. And then he said, "Where are your parents?" And I said, "I don't know." He asked me where I was going. I said, "I'm going to the lift house in Lion's Head." I knew exactly where I was going. Went upstairs, didn't have a key, couldn't get into the room, knocked on the door, nobody was there. So I walked downstairs and asked Barbara, "Can I have a key for 403? And she handed me a key. And I walked back upstairs, dragged my skis in the room, and got a little teary-eyed because nobody was home. And I started thinking, maybe there's a problem somewhere. I was more concerned at that point that mom and dad were gone. And the phone rang. and it was Barbara. And she said, "Where are your parents?" Third person today to ask me that question. Barbara scooped me up in her lap and said to me, "Why don't we call the ski patrol?" I'm like, "I don't know what that is, but that sounds like a plan." After that event, Mom and Dad always made sure that we at least had a 20 in our pockets for emergencies.
No, that's right. That's right.
Yep. We always had a map, and we always had a key.
We always had a key. Yeah, that's right.
After that event.
Loosely translated from Finnish, Sisu means gut, grit, fortitude, but we Finnish know that it's a lot more than that. There was plenty of Sisu on display at the Battle of Riva Ridge. As a matter of fact, the owner of the horse Riva Ridge was a veteran of World War II and a member of the 10th Mountain Division. And there's a little connection to Finland too. The concept of training soldiers who specialize in winter warfare actually came from the observations the US Army made of how the Finnish troops were able to repel the Russian army during the Winter War in 1939. The 10th Mountain Division was constituted in 1943 at Camp Hale, which is just north of Leadville, south of modern-day Vail, Colorado. In mid-January of 1945, the 10th Mountain Division moved into the Italian Apennine Mountains. They were tasked with taking the Campiano Mancinello Ridge, also known as Riva Ridge, and then move on and take the Belvedere Ridge. The Belvedere Ridge was the highest point in the area, and that gave access to the entire Po Valley, which is a critical path to victory in Italy. Some of the veterans of the 10th Mountain Division who fought at Riva Ridge founded Vail, Colorado, and many of them founded all the ski areas that we know and love today, and they established the modern ski industry. There's a plaque at the top of Riva Ridge that reads, "One of Vail's first trails was named after a ridge in the Italian Apennine Mountains by Vail's founders, veterans of the 10th Mountain Division, who fought a decisive battle there in World War II." There are many sources that talk about the 10th Mountain Division. One of them is in Vail, Colorado. There's a museum of the 10th Mountain Division, and there's actually a movie by Warren Miller, one of my favorite ski movie directors, and the US military has some really good links. I'll put some links below in the description if you're interested in some further research. But that's not what this story is about. There's a good correlation between the 10th Mountain Division and a 7-year-old girl when she was separated from her parents for the first time, made some decisions that took some insight and some forethought. The confidence that she has and the courage that she has always been there. What this did was reveal to her that she was a smart little girl, she had courage, and she was very capable of making decisions for herself. We all need something like that to bring out in us what we may not know we have. To be honest, I think that's one of the biggest components of Sisu. Hey, I really appreciate you watching. If I earned it, please hit the like button down there. And really, if you like this type of video, I'm going to be producing a lot more. Please hit the subscribe button. I'm going to be trying to produce one every week, and I hope you come back. Thanks a lot, and take care.